Okie dokie, let's try this out. This is the first time I've ever done a voiceover on a video, and we are going to do a little sketchbook tour of my 100 days of sketches. So, watch me fiddle with the book. And we have our first sketch, which is called Worm Hat. A very quick doodle that I did there. The next one was Banana King. Fairly straightforward. Banana on a throne. And after that we have Soggy Robot. So I just did a quick robot caught in the rain. We have a Bubble Wizard, a wizard who looks very much like they belong in Final Fantasy, blowing bubbles out their wand. Pizza Knight, I really struggled with this one, so I just gave him a pizza slice shaped shield. Angry Cloud, this was a very quick, didn't really know what to do, and it was just a very quick doodle. This one I took a little bit more time to actually colour in. Lava fish, didn't really know what to do, so I did a fish jumping out of the lava. This one is the monster from Monsters Inc. catching the sock. This one was chair face, so I just gave a chair a face. Very straightforward, and yeah, it looks kind of creepy. Catzilla, again, very straightforward. We just made a Godzilla with a cat face. After that, we have Mustache Gun. So I just drew a gun that fires mustaches and a little guy looking very confused. We did Oscar the Grouch, sat there on his throne of trash. And we have Hover Toast. So I did one of my original characters, getting very annoyed that the toast has flown off the plate. Skater Ghost, very straightforward. Sheet Ghost with a skateboard. What more can you do? And Popcorn Warrior. So, yeah, a packet of popcorn with a shield and sword. This one, Radio Cow, I had been watching Frasier at the time, and I thought the cow being on Frasier's radio show would be very funny. I just designed a monster on the fly and went with this for Sleep Monster. Starjuice, my brain immediately just went to Mario and how he powers up from a star, so I gave him a star energy drink. Muffin Beast, I didn't really know what to do, so I created some sort of beast out of a chocolate chip muffin. Sneezing Powder, fairly straightforward. He opened the powder and sneezed, and I believe I've put pepper in that. Glitch Cat, I just basically drew a cat glitching out like he was in the Matrix. Blimp Dog, I just imagined one of those Macy Day Parade blimps from America as a dog. Moon Shoes, I made a weird little moon type character and give him shoes. And he looks very happy about his new shoes. Crying TV, fairly straightforward. He's crying because he's been unplugged. Viking chili. So I decided to just make a chili pepper and make him look a bit like a Viking. Hopefully he looks Viking-esque. Croissant UFO, I decided to do a flying croissant with a little alien stealing a cow. Because that's what aliens do, apparently. Egg wizard is an egg. He's a wizard. What more can we say? Disco lizard. I hadn't intended to do the lizard that looked like the one from the meme, but he ended up looking very similar. Tree yawn. I just made a tree look like he's yawning first thing in the morning. And we've got a thunderbug, so obviously he had to be Thor. Ladybug, Thor. And this one, I don't know if it comes across very well, but it's slow jet, so I wanted to show a jet being outraced by a bird. The next one was space milk, and I just thought of a brand of milk called Milk from Space, and had a cow jumping over the logo. Onion Ninja, straight to the point. He's an onion, he's a ninja, he's got a throwing star. Blanket sword, the only thing I could think of was a sword being covered in a blanket. Haunted fan, I just went with a ghost cooling himself off with a fan. Maybe he's having a panic attack at realising that he's died. This one's one of my favourites, Robo Plant. I decided to do a piranha plant from Mario as a robot, and little Mario hiding behind the plant pot. Ink Dragon, well, we made a little dragon come out of the ink pot as it was spilled. Kangaroo King, I just gave him a crown, a cape, and a scepter. He looks very angry about being king, though, I have to admit. Cloud Surf, I mean, what else could we do? It had to be Goku riding the Nimbus. Puddle Prince, I tried to make some form of royalty, looking rather disturbed at the fact that he has just stepped into a puddle. Gravy Ghost, it's a ghost of the gravy. There's really not a lot to that one. A lot of these I just made up on the fly. Jelly Cannon, again, I don't know if it comes across clearly that it's jelly, but it is a cannon shooting a moulded jelly. Tiny Rage, this is just a very small man who is very angry. Don't know whether he's angry at being small or whether something's just annoyed him, but there we go. Lightning Beard, I really didn't like this prompt and I don't really like this sketch. I basically went for Zeus. Marshmallow Doom. I mean, if you think of marshmallows and you think of Doom, it's going to be the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man, really, isn't it? Crayon Shark. I did a crayon that is hopefully looking very Crayola-ish as a shark. I don't know if it works too well, but there we go. Another one I was stuck with, I believe that's his Sticky Pirate. Donut Troll. So we gave a donut to a troll and he looks rather confused by it. Bit grumpy too. I really like how this one's turned out. Backpack Frog. Kind of looks like a frog Spider-Man if I'm honest. But I'm happy with that one. Lava Pop. Well, I decided that if we're going to do anything, it should be sort of a lava lamp type soda pop, so that's what we went with. Yeti Chef. I don't know if my Yeti looks like a Yeti, but here he is, flipping pancakes like a professional. Again, another weird prompt, lava lamp head. So, very much straight to the point. As a guy, he's got a lava lamp for a head, and he looks rather happy about it. Here's another weird one, melon mask. I decided to make a melon type superhero, little kid who puts a melon on his head. Boombox Owl, I went for the sort of 80s rap vibe where he's going down the street listening to his boombox. And here's where my sketchbook decided to slide across the desk. My own fault for prompting it up against the wall. But we have a sunburnt alien there. Sneaky apple. We have an apple trying to escape being eaten, passing the remains of his dear friend. Fishbowl brain. I found this one quite amusing, just imagining a brain in a fishbowl sliding down a slanted desk. Maybe it's during an earthquake? I don't know. We have a toast rocket. Only thing I could think of was a flying toaster. Going through space, spreading the bread. Laughing cactus. I mean, it's fairly straight to the point, isn't it? It's a cactus, and it has a very happy face. Must have spiked someone. Cupcake dragon. I quite like this one. I thought it was quite cute. Dragon baking cupcakes. Maybe he used his own fire breath to heat the oven. I don't know. Here's another one I decided to colour in purely because I thought it would display a panther a little bit better. But we have a panther resting on a pencil. So that will be Pencil Panther. And another random prompt, we have Snail King. So I just drew a snail with a crown. Ice cream trap. Again, some of these prompts were rather strange, but I thought an ice cream cone on a mouse trap would be great. I don't know if you would catch many mice with it. Who knows? Fog detective. So I thought it would be funny if Inspector Clouseau was searching for the Pink Panther and just walked right past him in the fog. Another random ghost. This one, instead of being gravy, is a jam ghost. Whether or not it's a sheet ghost that fell into the jam jar or it is the ghost of all of the berries in the jar. Milkwave. There wasn't really much I could think of. Spilled milk. but nobody's going to cry over that one. Wizard TV. So I thought a wizard using his magical powers to move the TV closer. Cheese pirate, I went with a block of cheese, and after I finished this entire illustration, I kind of got SpongeBob vibes. Like the cheese looks like SpongeBob in some ways. Waffle sword. It's a sword shaped waffle. I maybe should have put some syrup on it. I decided for Paper Beast that I would do an origami bear, and also we can see that my sketchbook is sliding across the table a bit more. But we are up to number 70. Cat Nebula. Now this one I decided to try and do Nebula from the Guardians of the Galaxy as a cat. I don't know whether it worked. Lo-Fi Witch. I felt that this one was a pretty adorable little scene. Just a witch studying her spell book in her own little witch's house or cottage. And she's got some nice headphones too. Sugar Planet. Now this one, I decided to do a sugar cube as a planet, but every time I look at it, all I think of is the Borg from Star Trek. It's a Borg cube in white. Quantum Potato. I struggled with this one for a little bit until I came across the idea of just drawing GLaDOS from Portal as a potato. Because I've got to love that bit in Portal. And there goes the sketchbook again. But here we have Beard Battle. And, yep, two beards duking it out. Rainbow Monster was another one that I felt just had to be coloured to get the point across. But we have an embarrassed little monster who is very brightly coloured. Blush Machine, I did a little robot. Sort of slightly modelled on Johnny Five, because I had just watched Short Circuit recently, and just sort of tried to make him look like he was blushing. Maybe he's a little embarrassed too. We have a broccoli hero, again anthropomorphic broccoli with a sword and a shield, advertising House of Broccoli. I think that one says Bugger Rocket. A nose-shaped rocket shooting snot as its propulsion. Frog Disco. I mean, if you're going to have a frog, it should be Kermit, really, shouldn't it? So, Saturday Night Kermit. Sleepwalker, there really wasn't much I could do with that one, so I just went with half asleep guy walking along. Sticky Goblin. I have a goblin stuck to the wall. Whether it's stuck with glue, honey, or some other sticky substance, who knows. Alarm duck. I drew a cute little duck with an alarm clock, and obviously had to reference the duck song, because all ducks want to know if you've got grapes. Here we have Thunder Muffin. Again, this one is Thor if he was a muffin. And we have Pirate Tooth. He's looking very happy that he's lost his tooth. He must be giving it to the Tooth Fairy. Jelly Ninja. Yeah, ninja stuck in jelly. Not really much to it. We have Bagpipe Bunny. I tried my hardest to make this not look like Bugs Bunny. This can be Bugs' Scottish cousin playing the bagpipes, but he obviously isn't very good looking at the depressed face on him. Cactus Suit. I went with one of the cactuars from the Final Fantasy series and just put a guy in a suit. Game face. This one I just decided to go with an American footballer essentially just staring down the opposition, ready to charge. Wormhole artist. So we had an artist, Worm, who's coming out of his hole. And obviously, as all good artists should be, wearing a turtleneck. Skater wizard. So just a wizard riding a skateboard, doing tricks, and catching his hat with his wand. Pillow Knight. This one is just a knight, but instead of armor, he decided he was going to be comfy and have a pillow. And that is the end of that sketchbook, but not the end of the 100 Days of Sketches challenge. So we have another sketchbook because I ran out of pages and decided to work in another book there. So here we have a looper fish. And I thought the best thing to do would be to dress him as Woody from Toy Story with a lasso. Coral crown. I quite like this one, so I just made a crown out of some coral, and I thought it looked rather nice. This one, I literally took a photo of myself and drew myself having a meltdown as a cartoon character. So yeah, little meltdown. Gumball Witch. Whether or not this witch is trapped in a gumball machine or she lives in the gumball machine, but she's obviously enjoying riding around inside it. Next one would be Ramen Warrior. Now, my question is, every time he jumps, does he lose the ramen or does it all fall back into place? But either way, it's a bowl of ramen with 2 katanas. Toasty time. I mean, the only thing that came to mind would be toasting marshmallows on a campfire. So we made a little nighttime scene, camping, toasting marshmallows. The next one is Cosmic Spoon. I had to colour this one in to give the full effect, but we had a galaxy in a spoon. A teaspoon of galaxy. And finally, the last prompt of the 100 Days of Sketching was you. So I interpreted that as to mean me. So I did a little quick self-portrait. And that would be the end of that sketchbook tour. I hope that you've enjoyed it, and I apologise about my voiceover. This is the very first time I've ever done one. But thank you for watching.